So in the last video, I talked a lot about technical root causes. And you'll find if you go back to our first 5 why video, we don't really distinguish those things. And so before we talk about the 3 and the 3 by 5 whys, it's important for us to establish that a lot of times when we're thinking through 5 whys, we're really dealing with technical root causes. And there's a lot of power in expanding out and looking at different types. So when we talk about the 3, one of the 3 is technical root causes. The other 2 are systemic root causes. So that's what we mean when we say 3 by. Technical, systemic detection root causes, okay, and systemic prevention root causes. And so what 3 by 5 whys allows us to do is think more broadly about what we're seeing in both the system of detection and the system of prevention, so that we can find other types of solutions that can be maybe more broadly applied across the organization and address the issue. So the first thing that we want to think about when we do a 3 by 5 whys, well, really the second thing we want to think about when we do the 3 by 5 whys is detectability. So we have a technical root cause. And now the question is, well, why didn't we detect that problem? Why did it escape? Why couldn't we have seen it earlier? Typically, detection root causes come down to missed inspections, missed checkpoints, or maybe just a lack of checkpoints inside of our process. And so we're looking for those kinds of things where that might be happening, okay? So here's our example again, and you'll note at the start, we're beginning with the dryer shuts off due to excessive heat caused by lint accumulation in the ductwork. So we've really looked at the bottom of our technical root cause, the bottom of that 5 whys, and we've used that as the start of our detection root cause analysis, because now we're looking for something more systemic. And so here we're going to go, oh, well, the dryer shuts off due to excessive heat caused by lint accumulation. Well, why was there lint accumulation? Because I did not remove the accumulating lint. And you go, well, that's kind of obvious. But why didn't I remove the accumulating lint? Well, I didn't know the lint was there, right? We've all experienced that. I didn't know this was a problem until I looked close enough. And that's the key of detection, right? Is oftentimes detection root causes occur because we're not looking close enough. And so why didn't I haven't I ever looked there? Because I don't check for lint accumulation. That's just not part of my regular weekend activity. Is before I use my dryer, I check for lint accumulation. And so that is the core root cause there. I have no regular inspection process. And if I want to address this issue and detect this problem in the future, then I need to create this additional inspection. And this is what makes systemic root causing so powerful, is we look at management practices, policies, procedures, training that will allow us to address these issues in the future. And by the way, we're no longer specific to my technical situation. We can look broadly at my neighbor's house, the building down the street, and go, well, gosh, if we should be doing inspections for too much lint inside of the ductwork, maybe they should be doing it too. And so these are much more powerful solutions because they address the system in a way that makes these issues more preventable, right? Which leads us to the other part of our 3 by 5 why, and that is the system preventability root causing. And here I want to understand, how did the system allow the root cause to occur? How did it fail to prevent this buildup of lint in our dryer case? But in general, how did it prevent whatever the issue that we're researching or exploring is? Generally, these are about management systems, management practices, behaviors. And what we're looking for is elimination that ensures that this technical root cause, can't, won't, will never occur again. Okay. So again, we can take a look at our technical root cause, and we can say, well, this time, instead of looking at why didn't I know about the lint, let's start by looking at why did I set up a situation where there's this bending and twisting and turning, and it's creating an environment that allows lint to build up. Why did that happen? And so why is it there? Well, because when we put the dryer in, we had to do it. Okay, so okay, fine. But why did we not know that this was going to be a problem? Oh, well, we didn't really follow any building codes, right? We DIY'd this. We did it ourselves. And so why did we not know about the building codes? I didn't really even know I should check and follow building codes. And how did I not know that I should follow building codes? Well, I didn't call the city and ask for a permit or talk to anyone at the city level to say, hey, I'm putting in a dryer. What are some of the things I should think about? And what I'll find is, again, a systemic and managerial policy problem is that I'm not following the right procedures in construction, right? Making sure I have the right permits, making sure that the right inspectors are advising us when we're going in and installing something. So that is a systemic root cause. And just like we talked about with the detection systemic root cause, this applies everywhere, right? The same permitting processes that I should be following for my dryer installation, my neighbor should be following, and the building down the street should be following. And oh, by the way, even more powerful, this doesn't just apply to my dryer. What about when I put up a deck? What about when I install a bathroom in the basement? If I skip this step of talking to the city and telling them what I'm doing, then there's going to be all kinds of things that I don't know, right? And isn't that excuse that we hear all too often is, oh, I didn't know. Well, we didn't know because we didn't follow the activities, the processes, the regulations that allow us to be aware and to know. And so when we do a systemic root cause analysis, we find a lot of those kinds of things, and we can try to put the procedures or the practices in place that help us to make sure that we are learning from previous experience by following the procedures that we put in place in the past. All right. So just some examples here of systemic root causes. No orientation process in place for new hires, specifications not regularly reviewed for purchase materials, employees lacking training. Lacking training is one that comes up all the time. That's a big time systemic root cause. Employees not expected to follow standardized work, right? Right. They're just DIYing their own processes, and regular maintenance not being followed. So that's our key points on the 3 in the 3x5 whys. It's technical root cause, then building off the technical root cause to understand detection root causes, and then going back to the technical root cause again and building out prevention root causes, managerial policy root causes, okay? And we'll leave it there. In the last section of the video, I'm just going to give some key tips, some things you should be thinking about, careful of when you're applying 3x5 whys, or frankly, any kind of 5 whys analysis. Thanks.